local people, local news and events, local sports, local matters. For all things Lloydminster and area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, we're at Border City Furniture this morning for the Border City PROspectives here on Live with Kurt Price, presented by Harris Electric. For over 75 years, Harris Electric has been a named Lloydminster trust. From major commercial projects to agricultural operations, they deliver dependable electrical solutions. If it matters to your business, trust Harris Electric. HarrisElectric.ca and at 780-875-3336. Well, joining us today at Border City Furniture, we have Corinne McGirr, Kagan, Kneen, and Chris Apostolovski is here. And our thanks again to Border City Furniture for hosting us again with the Border City PROspectives. Border City Furniture, your 100% locally owned and operated furniture store with a focus on Canadian-made quality products. Well, if you'd like to recognize a sensational caregiver or team, we have the perfect way. Cupcakes for Caregivers is a way to thank those that take care of others and give so much of themselves without ever asking for recognition. If that sounds like a selfless caregiver that you know, send us a note about them to livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. Cupcakes for Caregivers is brought to you by Lloydminster Sobeys and Umbrella Marketing and Design. And we'll deliver cupcakes to that special caregiver or caregivers and let them know how much they really are appreciated. And we see it all the time, what a difference those cupcakes make. In fact, last week we took some cupcakes to the hospital for Nurses Week, and they told us it was a trying week, and they were really excited that we were there. Felt really good to be able to do that for our nurses. Well, next Friday, I'll be heading out to St. Walburg to host their mental wellness supper with special guest speaker Ty Smith. Shirley and Gary Worms have turned their family tragedy into a mental health walk in St. Walburg, and that will be held on Saturday. So Friday night, you can hear Ty Smith speak. You can pick up some information and bid in their wonderful dessert auction. Tickets are only $40 and available at many different locations.
We have them at Kim's Service, the Brown Bag Liquor Store, Ace Hardware, Graham's Foods, St. Walburg Home Hardware, and Paradise Hill Ranch and Western Wear. And you can e-transfer to e-transfer at stwalburg.com.
And next Friday is also the spring market at the Brass and Threads thrift store. There'll be entertainment, food, lots of kids' games and activities. And Patty Milnthorpe told us that it all starts with some great vendors.
We have about 36 vendors that are going to be there. And these are not just the normal kind of Norwax Tupperware thing. These are all local craftsmen and businessmen that are business people that will be making their own handmade things. So that's 36 of them.
The spring market runs on May 29th from 1 to 7 p.m. It's time now for Live in Lloydminster. Live in Lloydminster is brought to you by the Vic Juba Community Theatre and Bay's Cinema 6.
We've got some incredible nights of music coming your way. This is Live in Lloyd with Tanis Heinz, bringing you the latest from Vic Juba Community Theatre. And before we dive in, a quick reminder to be aware of ticket scammers. If it's not vicjubatheatre.ca, it's not our official ticketing website. We only sell tickets in Canadian funds, not USD, and most tickets are $60 or under, with only a few exceptions of the $100 range. First up, Straight to the Groove on May 27th. Get ready for an evening packed with high-energy instrumental and vocal hits that topped the pop, soul, and adult contemporary charts. Featuring an incredible lineup of local musicians and vocalists, this special fundraiser supports the Lloydminster Regional Theatre Foundation and helps fund important theatre upgrades and maintenance projects. Then direct from the United Kingdom, Movicals, a movie musical extravaganza, takes the stage on June 5th. This dazzling production features performers from London's West End, bringing iconic musical hits to life from productions like Les Miserables, Fame, Mamma Mia, Wicked, and more. It's an all-singing, all-dancing celebration of movie musicals you won't want to miss. And Eagles fans, get ready. Take It to the Limit, a tribute to the Eagles, returns to Lloydminster on June 11th. Hear legendary songs like Hotel California, Desperado, Take It Easy, Life in the Fast Lane, and more, performed live by some of Canada's top musicians and vocalists. This immersive tribute concert captures the sound, energy, and spirit of a real Eagles performance. Get your tickets now at vicjubatheatre.ca or through the box office. Make it a night out to remember at Vic Juba Community Theatre.
And bring on the summer blockbuster season at May Cinema 6 as the galaxy's favorite duo makes the leap to the big screen as Din Djarin and his tiny apprentice take on the remnants of the Imperial warlords in Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu. Starring Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver, Star Wars is back. Also playing at May Cinema 6, Mortal Kombat 2, Get Over Here, The Devil Wears Prada 2, The Sheep Detectives, and Michael. And there's also Saturday and Sunday matinees of Project Hail Mary and the Super Mario Galaxy movie. For tickets and showtimes to all upcoming movies, including The Mandalorian and Grogu, go to maytheaters.com. Live in Lloyd is brought to you by the Vic Juba Community Theatre and May Cinema 6.
Following today's show, we're heading out to the Kit Scotty area and the Greg O'Hare farm. We're going to take Greg and his crew a delicious beef on a bun meal through Feed the Farmer. Not only is there delicious Diamond 7 Meats roast beef, but also delicious salads and buns, of course, from Sobeys here in Lloydminster. We bring along the tables and chairs, courtesy of the tent guys. We also want to thank Horizon Ag and Turf, BASF, and Richardson Pioneer. And all nominated farmers are entered to win 160 acres of spraying from Bradley Air Spray, chemical not included. So if you haven't nominated a farmer yet, or you thought about nominating another farmer, then do that today. Just do that on the Live with Kurt Price Facebook page. We still have 2 more meals to draw for. And of course, there's 160 acres of spray, courtesy of Bradley Air Spray. And a lot of our Midwest farmers have not really even had a chance to get started yet. BioClean Disaster Services is committed, certified, reliable, and will help get your life back. 1-833-246-8326. I talk to people every day who've had some kind of fire or flood or any kind of disaster that they've needed BioClean Disaster Services. And what BioClean Disaster Services does so well is take care of their customers. It's about taking care of your property and your belongings, but more than anything, taking care of you and your family. 1-833-246-8326, BioClean Disaster Services. Live with Kurt Price, presented by Harris Electric. We'll be right back to introduce you to the Border City PRO-Spectives today here at Border City Furniture in downtown Lloydminster in just a moment.
At Jason Arden & Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden & Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Border City Furniture in downtown Lloydminster is proud to be your 100% locally owned and operated furniture store with a focus on Canadian-made quality furniture. Shop their tremendous selection of beautiful living room sets, stylish sectionals, and comfy recliners. Border City Furniture also offers many different sizes of dinettes, as well as incredible bedroom sets and mattresses. Stop in and see Calvin and Ryan for the best customer service experience in Lloyd. They've got the awards to prove it. Border City Furniture in downtown Lloydminster, where the sale never ends.
Spring is here, Lloydminster, and so are the deals. Bin Blitz returns May 21st to the 24th at the Lloydminster Exhibition. Thursday, everything's $25. Friday, just $15. Saturday, only $5. And Sunday, everything drops to just $2. Been Blitz? Dig into spring savings.
Superior Water specializes in nothing but water. And with over 23 years in the business, they're proud and confident that their water and service is superior. For iron filters, water softeners, reverse osmosis distillers, chlorine removal, and H2S odor removal, give Superior Water a call. 780-875-6636 or stop and see them at their 57th Avenue location right beside Sheepskin Loft and stay hydrated with pure, clean water. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste. After all, it is superior water. Border City Furniture presents the Border City PROspectives. Border City Furniture in downtown Lloydminster. Quality and comfort here at Border City Furniture speaks for itself. And joining us today at Border City Furniture, we have Corinne McGirr, the General Manager of Community Futures here in Lloydminster. From the Lloydminster source, we have Chris Apostolovski here. And I hope I said your name okay.
Close
Chris.
enough, yeah.
Close enough, okay. And we have the Executive Director of the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation. Is that right?
CEO, same thing. Yep.
Chief Officer,
Yep.
Bottle Washer.
Yep. All
Kagan.
the things.
Kagan Kneen joins us here today. So we're excited to have our three PROspectives here. And on the Border City PROspectives, we like to bring people on who love the city. We like to bring people on who recognize that Lloydminster is a wonderful place to live. And let's start with you, Corinne. You grew up here.
Sure. Yeah.
So did you think to yourself when you were growing up in Lloydminster that, you know, when you become an adult, that you're going to settle in Lloydminster and this is what you're going to be doing?
Of course not. No, you go through your high school. And so I actually grew up in Blackfoot, did all my schooling in Kiscotty. So I'm that regional person, but you went off to, for me, it was Calgary, which was strange because, normally here you go to Edmonton or Saskatoon. So went to Calgary, did the university thing. And I was gone, like, see you later. Like, been great. But a few years later, got the degree and realized that Calgary was certainly no Lloydminster. So
what was it? What was it that brought you back? Was it
the sense of belonging somewhere? You get that here, and it doesn't exist elsewhere. Like it's hard to become part of a community when your community is the size of Calgary. I found it very hard to find a spot to belong and to contribute.
I feel like whether you're in Blackfoot or Kidscotty or even out to Lashburn and south of Lloyd, it's one big sense of community.
Yeah.
I had cousins that lived in Blackfoot, so we were out there all the time, staying there all the time. And when we got old enough, we actually biked into Lloydminster.
Oh yeah, that was how you got to your job. You would get on your little bicycle when I was like 14, 15, and you had your summer jobs or whatever, or swimming lessons to get to. Hop on your 10-speed and you ride your bike to Lloyd.
Where did you work at? Where was your first, you were 14 years old biking to Lloyd to work somewhere.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I was cleaning rooms back at the, it's the Royal Hotel now, but it was like, it's gone through a whole bunch of different names.
It was Harvest Inn for a while.
Harvest Inn, that kind of stuff. So chambermaid there. And yeah, some days like you needed to get to town, back at the 7 kilometers like that. Your parents didn't just leave work to come pick you up. No, that's not how it worked.
I feel bad. We were biking in to go to Bud Miller and look at girls.
That happens.
And here you are, you're going to work.
Or swimming lessons. I remember doing that, getting to the outdoor pool to do your swimming lessons on your bike and get back on your bike and head home.
Well, no wonder you turned successful and I'm doing what I'm doing.
You are very successful.
Kagan, did you grow up here?
I grew up in Marwayne. Yeah.
Okay, close. Somebody said to me, they asked me the other day, what's your your viewership? And our third viewership, our third highest, Marwayne.
Does not surprise me.
It doesn't, eh? Yeah.
It's
we have Lloyd, Vermilion, and then we have Marwayne. We are very regional. We only talk about Lloydminster things and the area. So it doesn't surprise me. Of course, we would get the odd person when they leave would look, it's Mexico and stuff. Yeah. But Marwayne is third on our list.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Small community, but very engaged.
So you feel like you grew up in this area too.
Absolutely,
Like, you
yeah.
feel like you're a Lloydminster, right?
Yeah, I remember growing up and thinking, oh, we're going to the big city, and oh, while we're getting groceries, can we go to McDonald's? Like, oh, we never get to go to McDonald's, and that was our big outing. And I grew up on a dairy farm, so everything was homemade, like fresh milk, like fresh cream, all that kind of stuff. So, like, to be able to go into the big city was always an adventure. So
where did you move away and go to school at?
So I actually, Lloydminster was a big city for me. So when I moved from Marwayne into Lloydminster, I actually went to Lakeland College. I got two business diplomas, and then I was in the first cohort with the partnership with Apostolovski University. So I could do my full commerce degree here in Lloydminster, which was also very appealing to me because I was like, big city, I don't know if I ever want to do a big city. Like Lloyd seems like a big city. But upon graduation, there was a lot of career opportunities. So moved to Saskatoon and got into corporate work and business and that kind of stuff, which was fantastic. That seemed like a huge city, and I was there for about 11 years and had an opportunity to transfer to Calgary to take on a bigger scope of role and project. So moved to Calgary and was there for about 6 years as well. And it was fantastic. Enjoyed being close to the mountains, going out and able to do like some hiking and that kind of stuff. But like you said, it doesn't feel like community. Like you have your network of friends and there's some family members that we had there as well, which is amazing. We really enjoyed it, but decided to start a family and ended up with twin 15 months. Well, they're twins and they're 15 months now, but figured out we wanted to be closer to family when we actually had that the girls were born. So decided, you know what, where do we want to go? And we talked about, well, Saskatoon, or there's Lloydminster, and we decided on Lloydminster. It's that community feel. And I made the pivot from corporate into the nonprofit sector because that's one thing that I felt was always missing, is that giving back. And the community had given me so much through going to my post-secondary. My first job, I was at don't know if you guys remember the courtesy clerks at Superstore, the rollerbladers. Yeah, that.
Wait a minute, they had
rollerbladers.
They did.
Yeah.
Why don't I remember this?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Okay, what was your job? What was the rollerbladers like? What?
Go checking prices and
Really?
Yeah. So
why don't I remember this?
Yeah. So rollerblader, and then also at Kelsey's, so food service industry as well. So yeah, did that while I was going to school, and so just wanted to come back and give back to community.
Oh, you know what? And I knew you went to Lakeland College because I just recently saw that you had recorded a. Well, I wouldn't say it's commercial, but.
Yes,
for Lakeland
for the
College.
Chamber Connect. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Absolutely. You probably don't remember our first engagement, because I remember when I moved back and I was like, you asked me to be on the show when I was at the shelter, and I was like, Kurt Price? Oh, he's like a celebrity of Lloydminster, because I was in probably elementary and you were on the radio, and I called in and I won something, and like we had a cell phone, we were on the school bus and hang up, and I'm so excited, and everybody on the school bus is talking about it, and then you're like, yeah, Kagan, she won, blah, blah, blah. I was like,
oh no.
So that whole day in school, I was like, I gotta make a lower voice because Kurt thinks I'm a girl.
Oh no.
So that was my first.
Oh my God. You know, I remember Marwayne did a camp out one time.
Yeah.
Like in the school.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they did that every year or not, but they asked me to come out and read to the kids and stuff. We used to do quite a bit of stuff in Marwayne.
Yeah.
That's probably why my second viewership
You're still a celebrity.
is Marwayne. Oh man. What an idiot. I feel absolutely horrible about that. Okay, let's switch subjects. Chris. Okay.
Wow.
Chris, now I didn't grow up here either, Chris.
Okay.
I moved here in 1991, and I don't think that when I moved here, I realized right away what a great place it was to live.
Okay.
Only when I got into media did I start to meet people who kind of influence you, and you start to go, wow, there's people who really care about, and they rub off on you.
They do, yeah.
Like and it didn't take long. It didn't take long. So where did you move from?
So I'm originally from Kitchener, Ontario. I grew up there. It's kind of a medium-sized city, a couple 100,000, medium-sized for Ontario, I should say. So it was a medium-sized city, and at the time it was pretty sprawling. And I did some stuff in college, didn't really enjoy it. And then I kind of found journalism, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I get to talk to people. At the time, we were doing primarily TV, but I had a real interest in radio. And yeah, I had no luck getting into the industry. It was kind of dry when I first started, which is a little opposite now. But yeah, I got a job offer for Terrace, BC, which is super northwest, town of a little over 10,000. I think it's like 18,000 or something. And yeah, I moved out there for 5 years. I really loved every moment of it, being near the mountains, and I didn't feel that sense of community when I was there. And at the time, our apartment got sold, and my wife and I were wondering, well, fiance at the time, but we were wondering, what do we do now? Like, where do we go? What's our next steps? And I had a job offer in Kelowna, and we were going to take it. And then all of a sudden, the Meridian Source was a quick 1 day interview, and they were like, we really like you. Do you want to come out? And I was like, wow, this is an amazing opportunity. I didn't know anything about Lloyd, but it was closer. My wife's from Calgary. So it gave us the opportunity to kind of be closer, driving distance. So we moved out here, and I kind of fell in love as soon as I got here. It's really the people, that community. It's just and it's not a big city either. I love being able to get anywhere in 10 minutes. I don't have to worry about anything. But yeah, really the people have kept me here, and I don't foresee myself leaving.
Who were the first people that you met that you started to realize, man, this place is going to be a good place for us?
Ooh, looking all the way back, I remember meeting even just like my coworkers at the beginning. I was like, wow, this is quite the community. And I was kind of overtaken. The first thing I had done at the time was the Paradise Hill Bash. So I had called the person that was overseeing that, and I had a great conversation with her. And then I got out there and I saw kind of the community as a whole, and I saw how fun everybody was. Everybody was willing to talk to each other. And yeah, that was a pretty lasting memory for me. It was a simple conversation. And
so when you were going to journalism school, did you know that you were going to move away from Ontario?
Yeah, they're pretty honest with you as soon as you get in. Like, I think maybe within the first week, they're like, you're probably not going to get a job locally, so you're going to be doing small towns.
Why is that?
A lot of the big towns, they don't want to have to retrain people. They want somebody who's either like an established brand or an established journalist. So they don't want somebody who they have to like retrain everything through. They want somebody to come in and do the job without them thinking about it, which makes total sense. Like even now, I think the same thing. I'm like, oh, this makes way more sense now that I'm trained. So they tell you pretty upfront, like you're probably going to do a few years in a small community, and then you can choose to return after that.
Right.
And at the time too, I was like, I'd read a lot of I was a pretty avid reader at the time, so I read a lot of books about small towns. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. You get to go out to the lake. You get to hang out with your neighbors. Like everybody knows your name. I want that.
So for Kitchener and Lloydminster, are they similar? Like what size is Kitchener compared to Lloydminster?
So Kitchener has about, I think they're a little over 300,000 people right now.
Okay.
So it's a fairly sizable city. It takes about, the distance to get anywhere is kind of short still. It's about half hour to 40 minutes, depending on how populated it is. So Lloyd would be considered like a very small town comparatively to where I'm from.
And what's other than the size, do you have a sense that Lloydminster is more community oriented?
Yeah, when I was in Kitchener, I didn't know any of my neighbors. I didn't know any of the things going on in the community. I was like, even being in media at the time, I was so blissfully unaware. And then when I moved out to Terrace, I kind of got that sense of like, oh, I can get to know my neighbors, but I still don't quite know them. And then when I came to Lloyd, I was like, oh, people remember your name here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So when I went to radio school, they told us the same thing. You'll probably start in a small town. And for me, growing up in Landis, Saskatchewan was smaller than Marwayne. It was like, why would anybody want to live in the city? Right?
Yeah.
Like not realizing that if you want to actually make money in it, you're going to have to go to the city. And then you do some digging and stuff like that. You're like, well, if I really want to make some money, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, then I'm going to have to go to the city. But money was never my driving.
Me neither.
It was never like, money never drove me. Like it was more of like, man, I'd just love to have a house and backyard and that kind of stuff. So Corinne, when you move back, like when you look at people that have influenced you from Lloydminster and area, who do you think about?
So yeah, absolutely fortunate to work with some great people. So I guess I consider my first real job when I, after university, did the few little things. And then I started working with Community Futures way back when. So I've kind of gone full circle, but I was fortunate enough to work with Bill Condro. And so he was absolutely a great mentor and a great leader. And he gave freedom to do and use my skills in whatever way I needed to. And just that ability, like never would have had a position in Calgary or Edmonton or a big city where you were given that responsibility, right? Like the opportunity to contribute and use your ideas and be creative, innovate, come up with crazy wild ideas and just get it done was awesome. And Bill was instrumental in doing that. And then a few years later, I was fortunate enough to work with somebody like Mike Sidoric, who same thing, right? Like just at the exhibition, just you got an idea, let's roll with it. Like didn't matter how young or inexperienced you were, you get to land in some spots where you can do what you think you want to try and given the responsibility. And it was awesome to work with, those types of people. They were just fantastic.
Just both those guys, just completely and totally involved in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Set the example, set the bar, set the example, walk the talk,
Man, did you have some good influence?
Yeah,
wow.
Really awesome.
Yeah. Those are two people like heavy hitters when you think about people who built this community.
Yeah.
Those are two of them for sure. And Mike, I he started at, we're trying to get Mike on the show. We're trying to get Mike here. He's like,
okay,
I'll
Mike
never,
does nothing
I'll
but
never
talk.
I know, I'll never do that.
Like,
You just want to get me
Mike,
on there
if
so you
you're
can make fun
listening,
of me.
Mike.
I'm not. But okay, Kagan, how about you? Like I feel like when you say you wanted to get back and work for a nonprofit, take a different kind of route.
Yeah.
Like that's very rare. Like, cause you could be managing banks, you could be doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Why did you have that sense?
Because money only gets you so far and money doesn't buy happiness. It can make you more comfortable and it can give you things, but at the end of the day, it doesn't fill your bucket. It doesn't fill my bucket. So for me, going to school here and seeing the community and having my first job and getting my degree through here, like it's just, I wanted to be able to give back to the community, and it had changed so much since I had left. So I left in 2008. So I was gone for a significant amount of time and came back, and I saw a lot of changes and some challenges that the community was going through, which is kind of what spearheaded that. Hey, maybe, you know what, I can take some of my business experience and bring it into a nonprofit sector and help make some of those changes happen and work for the betterment of people that I'm serving from an employment perspective, but also for the community as a whole. So yeah, that's always been a big driver.
You, would I be right in saying you're a very emotional guy? Because when you took that role, I mean, a lot of people just look at that role as, you're there to do a job, but I think, you put it entirely on your back. I mean, you ran how many miles?
1,280 kilometers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you put it completely and totally on your back.
Yep.
What drove you to do that? Like what made you go, if I don't do it, nobody's going to do it, sort of thing?
Well, I feel like I had to build some credibility with the community as well, because I had a bit of a reputation, but it was more so people that worked at Lakeland College and the connections that I had through Lakeland College. Because born and raised in Marwayne, not coming here except for to go to university and school, I didn't have a lot of those big contacts, and then I instantly left as soon as I had my degree, right? So I built a lot of that experience, networking capabilities, building relationships. And I knew in order for me to build credibility with the community, I had to do something impactful, right? And get people talking about it, because in that position, obviously, there was a lot going on from a social media perspective, and obviously just what was going on in the community. So I needed to build that credibility, and how could I do it? And that's when I positioned to the board and said, hey, I think this is what I think we should do for a fundraiser. Yeah, to raise money, but it's also to create conversation and awareness. And that's the one thing I really wanted to do, is I wanted to be able to build connections with the individuals that we were serving, but also the community that we were serving as a whole, to show what we could do when we come together as a community.
Chris, you talk to these people all the time that drive things like this all the time. Like, I don't know about you, but I feel like we're pretty lucky here in Lloydminster that we have people like Kagan, like Becky at the Olive Tree. You mentioned Deb when you walked in here today at the Native Friendship Center, and how much she cares about what is happening in downtown Lloydminster and stuff. You get to see this all the time. from your perspective,
Mhm.
like is this, and coming in to see this situation, I feel like we're pretty darn lucky to have people that want to make a difference, and not just, they're not just there taking a role. I don't know. Do you think we get that in other communities? Like, do you think that it's like that everywhere? You've worked in a few different places.
So no, I'll say that outright. I definitely don't think so. I think the leadership in the community, like the people sitting across from me, is very immense here. Like without good leaders who are willing to take risks as well, you never really get anywhere. And we've seen so much improvement in such a short period of time because of those people that are willing to take those risks and really willing to think outside the box. And honestly, a lot of people are scared of failing too, but failing is just on the path to success. It just takes some bumps to get there.
Okay, speaking of failing, you could have quit. You had every reason in the world to quit.
Yep.
The trailer was breaking down. You're having flat tires like crazy.
Yep.
Like your mom was with you.
Yep.
And when I arrived, if you had not told me that you were having those problems, I wouldn't never have known.
Yeah.
Like I went out, you were at just past Vegreville, Mundare. You're at Mundare.
Mundare, yeah.
And I was like, I went out to see you and see how things were going. And you seemed shocked to see me.
Yeah.
And when I heard how things were going, they weren't going that good.
No.
I mean, I was like, you have every reason to quit. What kept you going?
The purpose, right? I when I set out a goal and something that I'm going to do, I will go until I can't physically do it. I remember I got to Saskatoon, and that's when I got shin splints, and I was like, and I remember calling the chair of the board, and I was like, he's like, oh, you're finally going to tell me that you're going to take a day off. And I was like, and at that point, until he actually put that in my mind, I was like, I was going to quit. I was like, my shins, I can't do it. I still have like a few 100 kilometers left to do. And then he's like, oh yeah, I guess I could take a day to actually give my body a bit of a break and take care of it. And that's the tweak that I needed, because I am not one to quit. But at that point, mentally, I was like, oh, I'm fatigued. I'm done. I'm obviously injured. I can't do this. But then I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. I've said I'd give myself the month, and I still finished it in 26 days, even taking a day break. So it worked well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corinne, think about biking in 7 kilometers, right?
Right, yes. Yes.
Yeah. But we're going to take a break here. We'll take a short break and be right back at Border City Furniture and the Border City PROspectives. Border City Furniture, winners of multiple Downtown Business of the Year awards.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we take pride in our quality products and outstanding service. Our custom processing goes far beyond just cutting your meat. There's also a very popular in-store cuts and fresh sausage cooler with all your family's needs and budget in mind. Planning a wedding, family reunion, or weekend get-together? Let us prepare a mouth-watering roast beef, pulled pork, or brisket to perfection just for you. Or take it home and prepare it yourself with one of our incredible Yoder smokers. Diamond 7 Meats, locally owned, family owned, and proudly serving the farm families and communities of the Midwest.
It's more than just taxes at LNA CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at LNA CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. LNA CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
What if your lifestyle could stay as vibrant as you are? Discover Care Freedom Living by Wellings. It's a modern way of living designed for people who want life to feel easier, more connected, and entirely their own. At Wellings of Lloydminster, your days unfold at your pace with spaces that feel modern, welcoming, and full of possibility. Live life on your terms at your own pace at Wellings. Visit Wellings to discover more. 3211 72nd Avenue, Lloydminster, and at wellingsoflloydminster.com. Welcome back to the Border City PROspectives here at Border City Furniture, your 100% locally owned and operated furniture store with a focus on Canadian-made quality products. And once again, pleased to be joined by, from the Lloydminster source, we have Chris Apostolovski here. Did I come closer?
Yeah, it's Apostolovski. I should have said that before we started.
I should have asked. Executive Director of the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation, CEO of the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation, Kagan Kneen joins us, and Corinne McGirr is the General Manager of Community Futures here in Lloydminster. Let's start with business in Lloydminster.
Sure.
Let's talk about, we have so many different businesses here in Lloydminster that are Lloydminster made. And whether it's a business or whether it's a different organization, Lloydminster really stands out, I think, for its entrepreneurs. Can you speak to that?
100% agree. You know, we have entrepreneurs of all sizes. We have corporations that are massive, that started as a little mom and pop shop or a single person just grinding in their garage or whatever. And we have just really successful small businesses that just work behind the scenes. The other night we had a group booking one of our spaces at our room, and the lady looked really familiar, and I was like, oh, we know. And she's like, I think I know you, you know, doing the dance. And so we discovered that from my previous time with Community Futures, I ran a program called the Self-Employment Program. She was a participant. She started her janitorial business back in late 90s, early 2000s. She's still running that little janitorial business in her 60s. Can you just imagine how many people she supported in this community, how many part-time workers she might have had in, you know, this last 25 years? Like, absolutely amazing. And you feel like, oh, it's just a janitorial service, right? Yeah. But then we were talking, she's like, well, you remember the handyman? Yep, that handyman still driving around town with his truck speckled up, right? And so we have all these small businesses, these entrepreneurs, innovators, creators, just willing to grind, do the work. We're doers. You're a doer, you're a doer. We're doers here in Lloydminster, and we solve problems and we get it done. So
what a great way to look at it. Like, and Lloydminster, I mentioned there's so many different made in Lloydminster solutions to problems. I think like there's no beef fisher in any other community. There's no olive tree in any other community. There's no border city connects in other communities. We're so distinct here, and that's, you know, those are nonprofits, but they still needed a leader. They still needed a champion to get that started, right? Mm-hmm. And there's so many people like that here in Lloydminster. For myself, there's no Live with Kirk Price in other locations. It's completely unique. Had you told me 5 years, 6 years ago that I'd be doing this, I'd be like, you're crazy. But Lloydminster presented me with an opportunity. Mm-hmm. I only feel like it could have came in Lloydminster. Yeah. And I also feel like, and maybe Kagan, and you can speak to this, but I feel like if you give to the community, they give back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The level of support that you get, like, you get what you put out, right? And I feel like just going over and above, not for personal gain, but you're doing it truly in benefit of everyone else. And it comes back tenfold, right? The level of engagement, support. It's absolutely incredible what you get back from this community. And I think a lot of that is the city of Lloyd itself, but I think a lot of it is also the surrounding communities. Like, I grew up on a dairy farm. I know a lot of grain farmers and beef farmers, and like the work ethic that they have, like farmers have to go. And I remember lots of friends growing up, and I was like, oh, I think my chores are bad. Your chores are way worse, right? And just understanding what that work ethic is, and knowing that it isn't just about what the outcome is. It is what's the effort putting towards what you're working towards.
Well, I think like the Regional Health Foundation Gala is a great example of that.
Yeah.
Like that place just gets decked out, unbelievable. This year they had a windmill, and it was Brenda's husband that made it. And
Yeah.
man, that like I don't know what's going to happen to that windmill, but other communities should jump all over that, right?
It's incredible. And so we actually ended up letting Lloydminster Region Housing Group take a bunch of the decor so that they could use it for their seniors and have different activities and stuff like that. So it's just continuing to give back in different ways that we're able to. I know a lot of the flowers went to the hemstock because Richardson's also is a big part, obviously, with us. So it's how can we give back, right? After everything is said and done, and just the people that are attending the gala and giving back, because healthcare, everyone's going to need it at some way, shape, or form. So being able to figure out what we can do to create those enhancements is so imperative.
Yeah. There's so many special things about the city. For Chris, this is going to be a tough question. But from when you were growing up to what the city is like now, what's changed for you the most? When you look at Lloydminster, and we mentioned this a lot on the show, is for a long time, Lloydminster was seen as a transient town. People came, they worked, and then they moved somewhere else. And there's people like myself and Faye and her husband that came here. And maybe when I first came here, I didn't think that Lloydminster was going to be my permanent home. But quickly I started to, and I went away to school in Edmonton. And when it was time to come home, like I was ready to come home. Like when I was done and it was time to go somewhere, it was like I never thought about anywhere in Lloydminster. And I wasn't even that involved in the community at that time. But getting involved with the radio station changed that completely, of course. But for you guys growing up in the area and coming into the big city and biking into town, like could you imagine biking into town now?
Oh my gosh, could you imagine driving and you'd see somebody, you'd be like, are they lost? Are they okay? Like, what's happened? But you know what? It was
you're not that old, Corinne.
Oh, you're so sweet,
You're
Kurt, but
not.
I am. Like I am in that level of like, lived here for I just celebrated my 26th wedding anniversary yesterday. So, like my husband and I have lived here for 26 years. And, I think about his workplace and he's like literally like, oh yeah, this guy's worked here for 50 years. This guy's worked here for 40 years. He's worked there for 30 years, 35 years, 10 years, 15. Like people are able to just settle down, contribute, do the work. Like I know we say transient and people come and go, but they don't. Like, I don't know, like people my age are here. We're landed. This is our homes. This is where people raise their kids and their whole families. And our generation, which we're part of the same generation, like this is home. And so I don't know if that means we're like setting the example for the next generation. Like, are we at that age group where we're now like the Bill Condros and like people are looking up to us? I mean, Kurt's a celebrity. But we can do that, right? It's passing that torch. It's, settling in and enjoying where we live. And so I think, I don't know if we are as transient as we think we are.
Not anymore.
People have settled
I don't think
here.
we are anymore.
And we're a great place to live. Yeah. And
well, let's ask Chris. Like, do you plan, like do you have, like, you must have, like, man, if I get to the city, that would be awesome. Is that a goal of yours to get, like, you want to be in Lloydminster, but at some point, hey, I want to work for a larger paper in a larger community back closer to home?
That was when I left. That was actually never the goal. I was always looking for somewhere good to settle. And at the time, I left single man, so I'm like, the world's my oyster. Whatever's out there is out there. Met my wife at the first radio station we worked at. And I said to her, I'm like, let's find somewhere to settle that is our own. As long as it's close enough to family, I don't have to live next to my family, but as long as we can get there. And then, talking about, what's changed in Lloyd, is it transient? I'm a pretty big history buff locally, so I love Lloyd's history. And the thing that's always been consistent is people say that they may come for a month or two, but they always stay for a lifetime. So it's just however Lloyd manages to attract people, they have that longevity of they get here and then they're never leaving.
What's changed for you, King? What do you look at in the way the community has, I don't know whether it's matured or whether it's physical, what's different now?
I think the community truly just comes together, and I feel like it is a collaborative effort for not just nonprofits, but businesses, sole proprietorships, corporations. Everyone has a vested interest to make Lloyd successful. And that's what I love so much about my current role is how do we attract more doctors and physicians and nurses and those kind of things to experience what Lloydminster truly has to offer? Because there's a reason why I moved back. Yeah, it's because I had family and support, but it is like, especially in these last couple of years, I'm like, it is community. It's not just a city. It is a community that truly cares about each other. And that's what I really want to instill, obviously, for my daughters. And I want to make sure that we can attract the right people that want to maintain those same community values.
When you do you talk to doctors all, like, are you heavily involved in, hey, we got to try to attract more?
Not yet, but that is one thing that
That's one.
chatting with the board about is how do we be a little bit more engaged to start attracting more of those practitioners and get more engagement, because the hospital is in desperate need. So what can we do to advocate? How do we make sure that we create additional incentive programs to get those people in, but then also create the community engagement behind it so that we can show them what Lloydminster is truly about, show them events at the Vic Juba, show them local restaurants that are absolutely incredible. So I think we just really want to start going that route to start bringing more people into the community as well.
It's interesting. The number one question, Chris, you can, maybe you get the same thing.
Mhm.
The number one question I get from walking around town and people see me and they're like, hey, you're talking to people all the time. What's going on at the airport? Are we getting a carrier? That's the number one question that
Really
I
is,
get. If I'm going to bring the mayor on or anybody like that, that's the number one question that I will get asked. Can you ask about, is there a carrier coming to Lloydminster? Is that similar for you?
It is, yeah. Everyone's always curious about, since WestJet left, what happens now? And there's been mixed messaging from the provincial government. Unfortunately, their regional plan didn't succeed, so now it's back to our municipality to really take the lead on that. But everybody wants something. I mean, how do you get to and from? If I want to go somewhere, I'd like to be able to fly rather than have to drive 6 hours.
Yeah, and I think it's the community that's concerned about it, and that leads right back into doctors. I think doctors want to be able to just, I got to go for a course, or I got to catch a plane to somewhere else. It's easier to go right from the Lloydminster Airport than anywhere else. I think that would be huge for us.
Yeah,
it's definitely, I think, a priority for sure. Corinne, when you worked at the exhibition, so I'll ask you this question about, there's different events in town, like the gala and the Health Foundation Gala is, I've emceed, I think, 2 years, maybe 3 years. And before that, it was always one of these things that was like, kind of like out of reach for me. It was like, that's, a different level of people but I'm like, go support it and do all that fun stuff. But there's different events that I've attended in Lloydminster that I just love. One of them is the Kinsman Telemiracle Steak Night. It's such a good night.
Mm-hmm.
When you worked at the Lloydminster exhibition, how much fun did you have working on the fair, or did you find it stressful?
Oh, both. Absolutely both. I mean, you're leading up into a major event, and you've been working on this for 8 months, 9 months, a year out, right? Like most of the events were annuals. So you're just like, this one's done. Let's go move on to the next one. We're already planning. You're usually planning multiple events at the same time.
Yep.
And so a lot going on. Like you had to be on it. You had to, you're working with community, you're working with businesses for support, you're working with attendees, you're working with, potential customers, like all the things. And so it was high octane, a lot of energy, got to do some really super cool things and meet some really great people. Highlight is still meeting Carly Rae Jepsen. That was awesome. And, just things like that. And then being able to see the faces of people that were attending. I mean, you're doing it because people have a passion for, they want to be entertained. They want to have some fun. They want to sell their cattle. They want to do whatever. They want to raise money. They're doing whatever purpose there was there. It was just great to see the community come together, but super fun, but amazingly stressful.
Did you get to enjoy it too?
There was days. We would
Like
so
not every day is meeting Carly Rae Jepsen. Let's put it that
Not every day is
way.
reading Carly Rae Jepsen. So one of my kind of portfolio events was the Chuck Wagon Finals, and so there were many years of staying up all night, and then the sun would come up in the morning, and you'd like just get right back to the office and keep going. Or at the fair, there was quite often very late nights where you would be there all night, and the sun would come up, and you'd be just, maybe a collective of you just hanging out on the grandstand, just like, all right, let's get ready for today, right? And so, yeah, great moments, amazing people, like absolutely, like networking and meeting people, reintroducing yourself to the community. It was a great opportunity to do that, and so it's a great place.
I'm always amazed when I ask people about what's your favorite event. How many people say the parade?
Yeah.
Like the parade, I didn't realize it was so meaningful to so many people to have that parade.
Yeah.
But looking like now, is there an event that I never miss this event? This is I always want to be here. This is what my family does. We go here.
Yeah. So for me, it's a little piece of the fair. And so this is still, I'm on the organizing committee still contribute, still volunteer, still enter, is the Creates It program. And so this is the foundation of the fair, the bench show. And so this is where people showcase their crocheting and their baking and their art and all that kind of stuff. And it's what the Lloydminster fair was founded on back, like whatever, they had 100-year anniversary last year or whatever. It was the first thing that the community would come together and show off their jams and their all that. And so I still participate. I still organize the event. Still work with the committee of ladies on that. And it's still my favorite thing to do. And I'll be there for 3 days organizing it, coordinating it, doing all the data entry in the background.
I feel like you guys are growing that again.
Well, yeah, we're trying. Like, of course, that COVID years, slowed everything down. But we know there's like some amazing makers and creators in our community, and most people are just so humble. Like, my stuff's not good enough. Like, I can't put my stuff in there. So, whatever it is you do, whatever you're creating, we have amazing artists that are just completely doing it in their basement, and like no other reason than just to enjoy it. Photography, artwork, woodworking, leatherworking, glass, like all the things. And so it's amazing to see those items come in and be put on display. So,
and in our house, it's huge.
I know,
because
we love having Heather on
Heather
board.
loves doing that stuff, and but I feel like her whole family back in Ontario, that's still what the fair is.
Yeah.
It's still like when we were home and we were going to one of the fairs, there were so many of them. I think it was Hanover. And we were walking in with her nieces, and she's like, oh, pick that rock up. Pick that rock up. So I picked the rock up. I'm like, what? She's like, I want to add it to my rock collection for the display. I'm like, okay.
Sure.
Kagan, is there an event that you...
I would say probably the parade. I remember growing up, and that's the one thing that I want to continue that tradition, obviously, with our daughters, is going to that parade and the start of the fair and the big activities. And because growing up in Marwayne, it was very much, we had the Lloyd Fair, but it was also the Marwayne Fair. Like, we got to the craft sale and all of the things. It was, I remember my mom always entered into the photography contest, and I would do the drawing contest. I used to draw for a long time ago. Now I'm not creative, but
everyone's creative.
Yeah. But I think that was a big thing, is like all those local fairs, like the Paradise Valley, the 3 City Fair, like the baseball tournament there, like all of those events, they're just highlights.
Yeah. Chris, has there become one event that since you've been here for 2 years that you could signal out as something that you find unique, that you find you love to cover, sort of thing? Because when you go, you're actually working it.
Yeah, it's a job for me a lot of the time. At the same time, I get to enjoy aspects of it. Sometimes I'll bring my wife and we'll enjoy whatever's going on.
Yeah.
I think Lloyd is kind of unique. They have so many events, and like, if you look at a week, there's at least a couple events going on, and there's stuff to get out to. The one that really stands out is always the Christmas craft fair for me. I love that sense. Like, when you walk through those halls, it is packed, and there's always people you'll recognize. You'll know the vendors. You'll get to see a ton of different things going on, and that's the one that really stands out. I mean, there's so many things that go on, I think of like National Indigenous Peoples Day is another one. Recovery Day is another one that's really important. You get a lot of great stories and a lot of impactful meaning to the community. So, but the Christmas craft fair, I think, just from a sense of community, really does it for me.
It's not really Christmas until that craft fair.
Yep, I agree.
Starts at right after Remembrance Day, right? And the switch just kind of turns.
Yep.
Like you see the stuff in the stores and everything, and you're like,
Santa
Christmas
Claus
is
Day
coming.
comes.
Yeah, but it's not really Christmas season until that it kind of flicks a switch, and you're like, now it feels like Christmas. And it's always like, I wonder if we'll have snow.
Yeah.
By the time the craft fair, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Listen, I want to thank all you for sharing some of your experiences, and Sunrise Run was another one that really, when I talked to you and you said it was sold out, that shocked me.
Yeah,
like
it was absolutely
450
incredible.
people making a difference
For our second year, which is mind blowing. Like, and that just speaks to community going over and above, coming up for a cause that truly matters, mental health and that awareness piece. So huge growth, and I'm super excited for it next year. But yeah, like the fact that it engaged families, right? So we had the littles. I had my 15-month-olds doing the 30-meter dash, which was a little hilarious. But at the end of the day, it was great to see so many families come out and participate and keep that conversation going.
And I was curious about Mikey Dubs, so I was asking you how he's doing. And there's another guy that's made a huge impact in our community. How far did he make? He made
26 hours.
And how much of that was was it his hip?
Yeah. And just, I can't, it was the 13th hour where he felt the injury starting to happen, and he still pushed through until 26th hour. And then the rest of the running community continued with that challenge to make sure that the 40 hours was achieved. And yeah, absolutely incredible.
Yeah. You're part of that too, because you're in the same breed. And it wasn't about you guys, it was about letting the community down. I know that for Mikey, it was about, I can't let the community down. For you, it was the same thing. I can't let the community down.
Yeah.
It's not about yourself.
No.
It's about, I don't want to let these people down.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Really appreciate you giving us an hour of your time here today to talk about the good things that Lloydminster has, and appreciate you guys and what you do in the community as well, each and every day. And Chris, I go to a lot of events, see you there. You're always welcoming, always coming up, saying hi and talking. I feel like for our little group of media and stuff, that's important too.
I think it is too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and you guys make a difference every day as well. And Corinne, you're right. You guys are influencing people, like whether we know it or not, you guys are making a difference. So it's appreciated.
Thank you.
We'll be back with you on Monday morning. And we look forward to talking to you. We'll be back in the studio Monday morning. We've got a few things on the go for Monday at 10 or 11. We'll talk about that.